Yep. He took it off and he had to put it in his laundry basket in the room, which is where it should be. Brian, you can click on my view and then choose reconnect. That'll give you the circle in a higher space that you wanted. You see that? There you go. Is that better? I can't see you yet. There you go. Can you say something? Yes, now I can. I can hear you just fine. Is that better for you? So you have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 spaces. And I darkened the one that you're in so you could find it. So you're good. You think you're ready? You got it from here? You got everything from here? All right, you're welcome. I'm leaving now. Add to image. Now take this stop off of there. Present. Click on present. Stop screen. Now take the stop off. Okay.
Now it's coming through your phone there. Okay. No, it's coming through here, yes. Okay. So they can hear me now. Okay. We're live, so I got it. Okay. So they can hear me now.
It hasn't come through yet.
So mine.
I know. But can you hear it on yours?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, now click on present. Share screen. Make sure the audio is checked. Audio is checked. Click the Empowerment Center online. Click on share. And then go back to your StreamYard screen.
I'll turn this off.
Honey, click on the StreamYard tab. And go back there and take yourself out.
Add me to the stage here. All right. So now you can be able to hear me. All right. I think now you can hear me. Okay. I think now you can hear me.
Now I can hear you. But now remove yourself from the stage for a second.
Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Man, off schedule.
It's really not. Those are part of the process.
Because I'm ready for my stick and my cigar. I'm out here for a reason this morning. I'm out here for the reason that I wanted a coffee and I wanted a cigar at the same time. So I decided on my Placencia 149. I've already drawn air through before I lit it, and it already tastes good. There's a reason why this is my current favorite cigar. So here we go. Now, when you first light a cigar, first thing you do is cold now, okay? You put some heat to it. It's what they call toasting your stick. You toast your stick. You warm up the whole face of it. And some people think I warm mine up too long. I've heard people say that before. But I warm up the whole thing now. Even though there's a little bit of smoke coming out, it's not fully lit yet. Okay? So now once you warmed it up, now you draw air through it with the fire. Tell me what that means.
Click on this. See that down there?
Mm-hmm.
Click on view that tab. And then click on that minus sign. That's what I say. Minimize your toolbar.
Yeah, because there's a toolbar up here and here. And there's more than one.
Go back to that one. You could be right.
Okay, come on. So what else you got?
That's it.
All right. Back to what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a cigar and I wanted to have a coffee on a morning. And here I am. I'm hoping someone will choose to go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online and join me. If you join me here, we'll talk together because we can talk about whatever. You want to talk about politics? We can go there. If you want to talk about relationships, we can go there. You want to talk about business and how to market and sell your services, we can go there too. You want to talk about writing and books, we can go there too. So I want to go wherever you want to go, but I want to do it like we do in a cigar lounge. You know, just sit down and chill, get your stick. I'm enjoying my Placencia 149. Ho! Woo! Now, I'm happen to be in my garage, and I put my fan on. That's how clever I am. So what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? I am, just so you know, we'll just launch off in a place. I am a big fan of Kamala Harris. I'm a big fan. And I want to just put this out there because this is my time. I don't understand why people support Trump. Can you help me? I don't understand why people want him to be the president. I don't understand why you would want that. Can somebody help me to understand? Here is something I can't understand. I could just kill a man. Shouts out for old school hip hop. I don't understand why people want Trump to be president. To me, character has to matter. Character has to matter. The kind of person you are. Are you honest? Are you empathetic? Do you care about anybody? Are you unselfish? Are you unselfish? That's just basic ones. Are you not overtly and blatantly racist? Those kinds of things matter to me. So I really don't understand why people want to vote for Trump. Somebody please help me. The guy is 78 years old, and he's been the same guy for 78 years. There's a reason why people in New York and in the city that he grew up in despise him. Why? Because of the kind of guy he is. He's accustomed to cheating and frauding for his own end. He's a felon, and he's got 3 more cases with another 54 potential felonies in those 3 more cases. I've done my research. So, and most of them have to do with fraud. So I don't understand why people want him to be president. I just don't get it. Why do you want that? He can't speak. He doesn't remember. He's very selfish. And just why do you want that? He's mean and petty. You know what the 4 years is like when he was the president. Why do you want that? I don't understand it. So in cigars, now when you're smoking a cigar, cigars take some time to do. I mean, it's not like a cigarette that you'll be done in 15 to 20 minutes. A cigar, it's going to take you an hour and a half, 2 hours, most of the time, between an hour and 2 hours, most of the time. Some cigars you can get done in 50 minutes, I find, and some cigars take longer than 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. But most of the time, it's between 1 and 2 hours. That's how long it takes. So a cigar is a commercial. It's a mini vacation from your busyness. Smoking your cigar, you're not doing other things. You're going to give your cigar the proper attention that it deserves. You're going to enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy my cigars. That feels good to me, and this cigar tastes good. So what you got for your cigar? Now, I didn't make a post this morning inviting folks to have a conversation with your boy. And I also said cigar is not required. You don't have to have a cigar to join this talk. This talk is available. You can come on here. If you're on any of my sites, if you want to come in the room with me, you see my circle there. If you want to come into the room with me, go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. That's where you go. Go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. And once you're there, you'll see a tab that says All Rooms. Click on the All Rooms and scroll down till you find the Cigar Cabin. And come on in the Cigar Cabin with me. Come into the Cigar Cabin. I tagged some of my friends that I know that enjoy cigars, but I should have just been tagging people that I want to talk to, because you don't have to have a cigar to come into the lounge. I want to talk with somebody else. Did you watch the Olympics? Did any part of it inspire you? Why are we so hyped for the beginning of football season? Football season starts today. There's going to be some preseason games today. But in just a few weeks, football season is going to be back. And then my life gets the proper order, because then my Sundays make more sense, because Sundays is meant for football. That's what Sundays are for. So if you want to come into the room, go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. Shouts out to people that used to come to when I had my cigar talks, like author, oh man, what's her first name? But anyway, they used to be one of the authors that used to come into this room. I'm getting more seniorer than seniorer every day. Come into the room, Sophia President. She used to come and visit. Come into the room, Sonia Fulian. Come into the room. Whomever else is available just for a chat. I should have come into the room. Abdul Fabs, come into the room and talk with your boy. Arthur Lynette, that was her name. She used to be a regular when I did my cigar talks. Can you be my dad? What's that? I don't know what that means. But I am a dad. And I like being a dad too. I have amazing children. We could talk about that too. My children are all grown and gone. Dr. Carolyn Stevens, thanks for coming into the room with me. Now, Dr. Carolyn, you're on live, but if you want to come into the room and have your pretty face in a circle, go to the Empowerment Center, TheEmpowermentCenter.online. And once you're there, click on all rooms and then come into the cigar cabin. I would love for someone to come into that. Just go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online and come on into the room. Now, I don't know where that person is going. You seem like a very good man. I don't know where they're going, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Oh, there is a place where I could do that. That's interesting. All right. So there is a place I can do that. So this is a room where I want to just chill. I want to have some grown folks conversation. Dr. Carolyn says, I would, but the world is not ready. I have a clay mask on. You got a clay mask on a Saturday morning. Now, there's a reason why. Why would this naturally beautiful woman have on a clay mask at 10:20 on Saturday morning? Why? Because that's part of her maintenance to keep her beautiful skin beautiful. And she might have to hit the scene later on today. I'm just guessing, Dr. Carolyn. You might have to step outside the house. And when you step out the house, she's going to be dazzling. She's going to be dazzling to the world. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ernest James Usher, how you doing? I want to have a self-care and maintenance. Amen. I want to lift off with a topic. Like, what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? I did lift up something that's, for me, but it ain't for everybody, because I do not understand why people want to vote for Trump. I don't get it. So I lifted up that as why would anybody want that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's one thing. But also, the Olympics just ended. Did any part of it inspire you? It inspired me a lot. Just watching people who train and dedicate and sacrifice and get over injury and try again to run a 10-second race. 10-second race. Noah Lyles won the 100-meter dash at a time at 9.79. Okay, less than 10 seconds. And it was close. And he beat the second place person by 0.005 seconds, 0.005 of a second. I mean, like boom, just like that. The second place, the difference between first and second place was like less than 0.05 seconds. That was the difference. And it was amazing, an amazing field, records. The top 6 of these guys would have all won gold medals in years past. But I saw an interesting thing on YouTube. 100 years ago in the Olympics, the guy that won the Olympics He didn't have any of the modern training that we have. He didn't have the shoes that we have. He didn't have the track that these guys run on or have. He didn't have 100 years of innovation that we have. And the difference between the time that the guy that won it 100 years ago, you would think would be a significant difference. It was actually a less than 1 second difference. Less than 1 second difference. Amazing to me. Like 0.0871 seconds, 0.09 seconds difference. Took 100 years to go about a second faster. That's amazing to me. You know, maybe we're reaching limits of pure human potential. You know, this country, since we're talking about that, but unless someone suggests something, because I really want to have a conversation with you. I'm hoping someone that does not have on a clay mask right now is willing to come into these circles, come into the lounge. Today is open. All you got to do is go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. Go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. And then once you get on that page, go to all rooms. And it says all rooms, then you go into the cigar lounge, cigar cabin. Brother Ernest says, well, from North Dakotans, they want their intrusive thoughts to run the country. Interesting. Quite a lot of people feel as Trump does about borders, and they believe immigrants are taking jobs. How you doing? They believe that immigrants are taking jobs that should be American jobs. Also, they feel a businessman should be able to run the country. Again, I believe none of these things, but these people believe this wholeheartedly and will not change from their ideals for their presidential choice. Now, I do agree with you, Ernest. The people that want him are not going to change. The people that want him are not going to change. You know, you try to convince a Trump supporter not to support Trump is a futile exercise. Good morning, Brother Dwight Roberts. No matter what you say. And Ernest, we had him for 4 years, so those North Dakotans would know better. This guy has never had any political experience, never led anything other than the presidency. Imagine your first job in an industry was the president of the company. He screwed it up royally. It was horrible. The ugliest 4 years of my adult life. He was terrible at that job. One of my favorite memes it's called the job interview. It was an interviewer sitting there and Trump is sitting in another chair. And the guy goes, let me get this straight. You lost your last job here because you were bad at it. They immediately replaced you with someone else. And because you were angry that they replaced you, you wouldn't leave. And then when you finally did leave, you took documents from the company that were personal and private that you shouldn't have had. And then we try to give it back. You didn't never give back all of the documents. And you led a small army of people to storm the company and try to take over the company and actually breached my building. And you want that job again? That's the job you're applying for, huh? Sister Nicole Johnson. Good morning to you, Nicole. I want to have a conversation with somebody. Nicole, do you feel camera ready? Dwight Robinson, do you feel camera ready? Ernest James Usher, do you feel camera ready? That you're willing to come on live and talk with the audience with me. Put your face in here too. Do you feel camera ready? Because if you do feel camera ready, I want you to go to, hey, Nicole, go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online. TheEmpowermentCenter.online. And Nicole, once you get there, in the lower right-hand corner of that screen, TheEmpowermentCenter.online. Once you get there in the lower right, there's a tab called All Rooms. All Rooms. Click on that tab, and then you'll see all the rooms available. And then just come into the cigar cabin. And then you'll be on the screen with me. I'm really looking forward to having you on screen with me, sis. Sister Carolyn says, for me, Trump disgracefully lacks morals and integrity. And I could not endorse or follow a person like that. I am with you. I cannot separate the person from what he stands for. I can't separate the person from any good thing. To me, character has to matter. Character has to matter. Running a fraud university, falsifying evidence, make you a non-starter for me. Lisa Santiago says she says you may need to bring them in the show on StreamYard, or we may not be able to hear them. Well, let's give it a try. Okay. Lisa, if you're in a place where you can give it a try, go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online yourself from another browser. Go to TheEmpowermentCenter.online and go and see if you can come into the cabin that way. Let's give it a try, Lisa. But I'm excited about Nicole giving it a try because I'll know when she comes into the room. Or Dwight, I hope you feel camera ready, Dwight. Dwight Robinson, come on in the room, man. Come on. If there's someone else watching and you feel camera ready and you want to come on live with me, today's an opportunity. So what do you want to talk about? It's hard for me not to. I get so inspired watching Kamala Harris's talks. I watched her speech she gave yesterday in North Carolina, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Did you hear some of her new policies? Because she's talking about policy. Wow. One of the things she's going to do to boost home ownership. I had never heard this idea before, but she said she's going to make it easier for people to buy a home. What? We got somebody coming in the room. All right, now whoever this is, I can't see it yet. Let me go here. Ernest Usher, what's up, man? Ernest.
What's going on, man?
Okay, good. So I can hear you. So you're in this circle here. No, there's other circles. You can just click on another circle. If you want to move around, you can see the circles. You can move around wherever you want to. I think I like being over here on the right. Okay. So you're going to stay on the far end of the room, and you're going to move your circle. Just click on another circle.
I'm good with it.
Okay, you're good with it. Good. So good morning to you, brother. How you doing?
It's good over here. It's 5:30 p.m. and I am just relaxing. Put it like that.
And where are you? You're in the UK? Or are you in Kuwait? Where are you?
Kuwait.
You're in Kuwait right now.
Sir.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my brother in Kuwait hanging with me. Woo! Oh,
we in here, man.
Huh?
We in here.
We in here. So, man, I'm going to have my cigar. Now, I was saying earlier, I've been wanting a cigar and coffee. So I got my coffee.
Right.
I got my cigar. And I'm going to do the cigar anyway. But I wanted to chill and talk with someone. I want to see what's on your mind, man. What, like, of the topics that I mentioned, maybe you got a different topic, something topical. What do you want to talk about these days, Brother Ernest?
I like what you started with the political one.
Okay.
Because I feel like, and I interact with a lot of people every day, a lot of different nationalities, a lot of different cultures, even people that are not a part of our political system, but they're outside looking in. So, I deal with a lot of Bangladesh, a lot of Sri Lankan, a lot of Kuwaitis, a lot of Korean, Philippine. They see our system as far as what CNN, MSNBC, and all these guys broadcast. And they're very intrigued how we're allowing someone like Trump to even be a part of the presidential conversation. They joke with me all the time. They're like, "Are you serious? Is this a reality TV show?" Because everybody from his TV show that he had,
right?
You're fine. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
They can't believe that he ran our country and is possibly trying to run again. So the world sees us as comedic, and I can never take him serious,
right?
Because how everybody else already views him. And I don't try to defend it at all, but I look at them and I'm like, you're right. It's like a comedy show that you see every day.
Entertainment.
It's not.
It's embarrassing too. But how could they not see it any other way, Ernest? Are y'all serious? Is that really what you got going on in your country there? How could they not? Nicole Johnson, thank you for coming in the room, lady. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. There's a mic on your lower left-hand corner. A circle mic. Can you click on that, please? You see it? Okay. On the bottom of your screen. There you go. I can hear you, my sister. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Happy Saturday. How are you?
Thanks for coming out and hanging out in the room with me and bringing your smile. I am so happy to have you in this room. Yep. So where are you, first off? Where are you?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
All right. So we got Kuwait, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Dallas, Texas represented in the cigar cabin right now. How about that?
Yeah. Stretching across the world.
That's right. We're across the globe, my sister. So I'm so grateful that you came in the room. Thank you for coming in here.
Glad to be here.
Because I'm going to have the cigar anyway, but I wanted to talk to somebody about some stuff. You heard what Ernest just said, because I had the opening thought that I really don't understand how people want Trump to be president. I don't understand it.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, please enlighten me.
Anything but a black woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a black woman. He ran against a white woman the first time.
Anything but a woman.
Anything but a woman.
You know, because he might be tempted to grab them well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even that should have been a non-starter. If you say out of your mouth, you could do anything you want when you're famous, even grab them by the pussy. If you can say that out of your mouth.
Out your mouth. let me. Okay, so I am. Let me give you a little background. Okay. I am a young dolphin from Chicago, Illinois, where my first lady graduated from, Miss Michelle.
Yes.
Obama, okay, so we claim her big time, and it's funny because Facebook Memories just said every Whitney Young Dolphin from every class is beaming because Michelle Obama is a Whitney Young Dolphin. Okay, we get to claim that.
Whitney Young Dolphin.
Yeah, so Whitney Young High School in the city of Chicago,
the
top magnet schools is where Michelle Obama graduated from, and that is my alma mater. Okay. So we get to claim the first. She's our first lady.
Yes, ma'am. I get that.
So at one point, I shared some pictures of Melania Trump
that everyone has seen.
That everybody done seen.
We've all seen her titties. We've all seen Melania's titties. We've all seen Melania kissing up with another woman.
We didn't see parts of her that I didn't never want to see. Okay,
I've seen every part of Melania.
Every part of her. Okay,
and it's public knowledge.
I shared it on my Facebook page.
Okay,
and I said if this had been Michelle Obama, there would have never been
a
President Barack.
No
Obama.
way. No way.
No way. Okay. And if this is what you all, those people, believe is okay to walk through the White House, it's not because that's what they want. It's in opposition of who they don't want.
Oh, wow.
A lot of us as voters, we look at the ballot and say, I just got to pick the lesser of two evils.
Yes, ma'am. Always.
That's what
me
doing.
Too.
That's what they're doing.
And how is that?
What they don't want is a woman. They definitely don't want a black woman.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's why it's understandable, because one of the ladies who came on that post, she was an older white lady that I had met at a networking event. And she said, Nicole, I am appalled that you shared these pictures on your Facebook page. Because when I opened up my Facebook page, my 9-year-old grandson was standing here and he saw them. I said, what you should be appalled about is that the woman who's in the White House took those pictures.
Yeah.
Don't be appalled that I shared what's on the internet.
Yeah.
I said, I can guarantee you if he's 9 years old, he's already seen them.
And worse.
Right. Hey, let's just stop playing like this is not the first time her 9-year-old grandson has seen that. And number two.
Oh, wait a minute. I want you, Nicole, you could change seats if you want. Just click on any of the circles.
I am fine. Listen, I like having a seat at the table. I don't care where it is.
Okay, cool.
My problem is not the fact of them wanting Trump in. The problem I ran into is us that I've talked to that want Trump. And there's a lot of us that I have met that want Trump over Kamala. that even wanted I can go all the way back to what's my guy's name that ran against Barack Obama, that wanted his running mate
Mitt Romney?
2008. Obama. That's it. I've met a lot of people like that. So I guess my concern is not them. They will always be them. But us?
Well, I feel like 10% of us dislike themselves so much that they're going
That's
to
a higher percentage.
Or they just want to be, or maybe a higher than 10%. They just want to be, they want to be contrarian. They don't want to be with us. They don't want us to be a monolith. So, like the day Kamala got nominated, I mean, one of my friends, a friend of mine who's been to the men's meeting, posted, "I'm not with her." He didn't know anything about her. He just saw her picture. I'm not riding with her. So why? Okay.
You know, there's a lot of.
Wait a minute. Did I cut you off, Ernest? I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. You're right.
Okay.
There's a lot of self-hatred in our community.
Self-hatred.
There's a lot of. This reminds me of back in the day, the stories of men and women who were light bright, damn near white, presenting themselves as white because they did not want to be known as black.
Yeah.
Okay. So that white privilege stretches way back. We want to go into the house nigga versus the field nigga.
That's
all
right.
of those
That's
things, that mentality is still here. And some of us have arrived at such places in our lives that they really think that they are accepted in the white community, but they are disillusioned and don't realize that it doesn't matter how light bright you are. If they know you black, that's how they're gonna treat you.
Go ahead, Ernest.
Some of us, believe it or not, some of us are accepted in the white community because we reject the black community. They like that.
Yeah.
They continue to have conversations with us, and we become the staple of what they believe is black. For example, I'm not saying her name because I know we're online, but her name starts with a C and her last name ends with an O.
Yeah, Candace Owens.
Okay, you said it good. She's one of the main ones that's accepted as the staple of what they believe the black community needs, not the black community is,
or what they want the black community to think.
Right.
Jason, you know who Whitlock. He's another one that they believe this is what the black community needs. We need to be self-policed by people like her who can keep us in line and keep us in the thinking of what it means to truly be an African American or a black man or woman. And so they gravitate towards those people, and they believe they speak for us. They speak for us, again, based on intrusive thoughts. To me, it all goes back to intrusive thoughts. This is what they think, but this is what that's been said, and now it's taken as this is who you're supposed to be.
There's something that you both agreed to. Nicole and Ernest, you guys seem to agree to this point about when I said I suspect there's about 10% of us that are just going to be contrarian and against themselves. And you both seem to think that percentage has to be much higher. That intrigues me, though. Why? And what percentage would you put it on?
I would put it about 20%, only because
20. Wow.
I've said my timeline is filled with people all across the world. And a lot of them are African American or black people all across the world. And a lot of them are Trump supporters.
Not a lot of my friends are, but I believe you.
Well, and it's scary because when I log in, I'm like, huh. And a lot of them really believe that the political ideas and sense that he has is not just truthful, but it's going to change the dynamics of the world to come, of the United States to come. They really believe that. They think he is really for them, no matter what he says. Even when he was at that interview with the black journalist interview, a lot of them were saying those black women attacked him versus him diverting away from their questions and not giving them the real answers. They believe that they attacked him. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, did we watch the same interview?
Yeah, I was going to say, did you watch the same interview? Okay, go ahead, Nicole. Right, you going to say something?
I would beg to differ that the percentage is a little bit higher.
Oh, wow. What?
So, and it's unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. So dealing with Black women, okay, being a part of a Divine Nine organization.
Mhm.
Ooh, I've seen us rallying. Okay, I just got to put it all out there. I've seen us rallying behind her because we know what women face, what Black women face, right? But in being on the other side as a federal employee, I'm with those people and us, those people on a daily basis. And I'm watching how, let me show you how the concept is.
Okay.
I have watched a white woman degrade a white woman so badly, but when a promotion came open, who she recommend? That white woman. Where there was a Black woman that was more qualified, she couldn't touch her work, but you wouldn't recommend her because your prejudices were coming out. Now, let's look at the same Black women in the same position and ability to recommend.
Okay.
And they're holding us down.
Oh, wow.
They're rather support white people and push them on. And you know what they say about the Black people?
What's that?
They do such great work, I can't afford to lose them.
Mm.
Okay. So I'm watching this mixed mentality where we don't need enemies from the outside.
Oh, wow.
We have so many of our own inside.
Right.
And I would rather push this white woman in front of you, this white man in front of you, to get rid of them and keep you here on this plantation that they done gave me management over.
That was amazing. Thank you, Nicole. Don't Lisa look pretty? Wowee.
Hey,
When her camera first came on, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is pretty. Baby,
I want to remind you that you are getting comments in the
let me
chat.
go back.
I know that we're in the room, but
okay. I'm seeing. I'm sorry. I got to go back. Thank you, baby. We need more light on your face. Dr. Carolyn says very much so, sis. Carolyn said, woo. And Dwight Robinson says, that's the first thing they say. She's Black. Carolyn Stevens says, exactly. She's co-signing on what you just said there, Nicole. She also says, I think so too. And they do that. Yes. Oh, wow. I need to pay attention to the chat. You're right, baby. We need more light on your pretty face, sweetheart.
I'm not saying I'm multitasking.
What kind of crap is that? How you gonna just pop?
She brought you some truth. Don't bother her. She brought you some truth. See how us good girls stick together.
Yeah, but she did offer help. She said, don't forget to check the chat.
She came in, she solved the problem. She said, now I got something else to do.
That's right.
Ernest, you see how we do that?
Ernest,
you see how easy that
I was about to say, Ernest, do you see that, Ernest?
With Brian. What are we doing with Brian?
Ernest, you got to stay with me, man.
I'm with you.
Okay,
we got to stick together too.
I've seen on the Empowerment Network show on our daily podcast that even if I'm right, if it's contrary to Lisa, the women will rally to have her back against my opinion no matter what I say. I'm like, are you kidding me? I know you agree with this point, but because it was even slightly different than Lisa's, that ain't fair. That ain't cool.
Listen, didn't I just tell you that women have to stick together? That's what we do. We stick together. Now I might catch Lisa coming down the hall, like, girl, you know you're right. But I never say it out front.
Oh, wow. Dwight Robinson says, I experienced that in my job. That's why I choose to work for myself. Women,
absolutely.
Women. You know, I'm a sales coach, and I have plenty of clients over the years who work in employee and management relations. I have clients of mine whose job it is to help employees protect themselves from the company, showing them how to sue companies. I have people that work in the how to get the management to get a better work environment, to get them to work better with team. I have all these clients. And you know what I noticed, guys, that they have in common? There's a lot of fear in the workplace. They're afraid of, management's afraid of the employees. The employees are afraid of management and can't wait to attack management. And they all are afraid of men-women dynamics.
It's True.
They're afraid of that. The men are afraid. And the men's meeting, when we have the men's meeting, they're afraid to say anything to the female coworkers. You can't say she looks nice today.
You bet not.
You can't. You're in
You
trouble.
bet not. You bet not.
Even if
There's
you
a
think
problem.
she looks particularly nice that day.
You bet not.
Maybe that day she jazzed it up a little bit more.
Don't.
You can't say
You better say it in your head. Keep it in your head.
That's why that's jacked up. You know, I haven't worked around women in a long time, and I don't even think I'd want to just listen to these other people talk.
But you know why? Because you had so many opportunities, so many problems with men being overly overt and offensive to women.
Yeah, for history, all the history.
Oh, you know, treating women like they're the help. Go get my coffee. I don't drink coffee, so you probably don't want me to make it.
It's been bad. Smacking women on the butt, pinching them on the butt was a part
All
of work
of that.
in America. When they first off, they weren't allowed to have jobs, but when they did get jobs because of the war, they weren't treated equally. That's true.
So all of that has happened over the years. You've had people, and not to say that men are the only one that abuse their position of power when it comes to sexual harassment. Women do it too. Okay, but that's the problem, is that you have to fight as the one who's been harassed. You have to fight so hard to prove your case, as Judge Mathis would say. You got to fight super hard. And the company would rather move people around than to deal with the issue. It's only when it's so many that have come out and said, he did this to me or she did this to me, then you don't have any choice but to deal with it. It's almost like the Me Too movement.
Yep. Dwight Robinson says, don't do it about talking about women, anything. And he also said, it goes both ways. I still believe, Nicole, and you've done a great job of defending your position today, and I appreciate it. But women can say stuff in the workplace that men can't say. Okay?
Yes, that's what I was.
I agree.
What was you going to say, Ernest?
Because of where I am. So let's talk about the people that protect and serve you.
Okay.
So where I am, this is something that I see all the time. It's the women. It's not the men. And the men can't say anything because in these units, they're looked at as soft or gay or homosexual, whatever slur they can be thrown at them if they do not respond to the way the women, I'll use the word catcall and treat. And then when enough guys speak up about, because this is where promotion comes into play.
Yeah.
So the people that protect, when it's time to be promoted because you've done the best job you can, you've got the EPR bullets, you've knocked it clean. But because you did not give satisfaction, and I'm just saying it to that female leader, the way she desired for you to, she up and is given to someone that actually did give her that satisfaction. Because
what's the satisfaction? The compliments, the kowtowing, what all of that?
All of that. You didn't go with her to chow hall. You didn't go with her out wherever she wanted to go. And I'm going to attribute that. I'm going to go a step further to say, with that thought process, the problem is, I believe, yes, it is a man or woman thing, but I look further to and say it's a leadership thing. Because we're putting up leaders that really aren't leaders, but they are great at filling spots. All their personalities, whether they're male or female, are wrapped into one. And so what that means is if they have a problem with dealing with men and women, if they're womanizers or manizers, if you want to make that a term, that's what they do when they get to their position. They don't change who they are. They just get more power.
That's amazing.
With more,
that's amazing.
That's what they do. And I see it. I see these young men, 18, 19, 20 years old, first time away from home, deployed location. They don't know what to do. You should be a mentor, but instead, you're a turmoil to them. You're trying to make them do things they don't want to do. They're uncomfortable doing. They're scared to do. But yet, they're trying to protect and serve you at the same time, trying to deal with protecting themselves from a higher up. It's trying to get them to do things because you're in a whole other country, away from your family.
Yep.
Nobody's going to know. These are the things they're told.
Yep. That's so true. What a major microcosm of real world the military life is. But it's even worse in the military because there's such a disparity, male female.
Right.
I want to say this, and it's in the military and it's in the corporate world, but even outside of that, I saw a stand-up comedian last night. You know, he was talking about, as a man, he's talking about his wife goes to the gym every day and he goes less than her. And he says, but when he takes his son, his newborn son, a toddler, he's got like a 3-year-old boy. He takes him to the gym. They have a daycare center in the gym. Okay. And he's accustomed to taking his son to the daycare center. And there's these 3 ladies in there, 3 middle-aged ladies that watch over the children while people are working out. But one of those ladies in particular has taken an affection to his son. And she really likes him, and his 3-year-old son really likes her. But when he drops off his son, she announces to everyone, hey, everybody, my boyfriend is here. My boyfriend is here. And she picks the little boy up and kisses on the little boy, and he giggles and kisses her back. And she makes a big production. My boyfriend gives me kisses. My boyfriend gives me kisses. You know, that's what she's saying to the little boy. Okay, in front of the dad. Huh?
Look at Lisa's face.
Yes, but that's what she says. And it's cute. Everybody thinks it's cute. The baby, like the toddler likes her. She likes the toddler. And she grabs him. My boyfriend gives me kisses, that kind of thing. And the comedian, who's going for funny, but he says, switch the role. What if that was a man and a mom brought her daughter? He can't say, my girlfriend is here. He can't pick up the 3-year-old girl and say, my girlfriend gives me kisses. My girlfriend's here. He can't do that. So that's sexist too.
First of all, I bet she wouldn't have been acting like that had the mom been dropping that little boy off.
Well, you think that was a difference?
Him. Huh?
You think that would have made a difference if it was the mom?
Oh, absolutely. The look Lisa just gave. First of all, ain't nobody putting their lips on my little boy at 3 years old, calling him her boyfriend. No, ma'am.
Carolyn does have a comment in the chat.
Okay, we go back.
Unfortunately, Black men have not always mistreated their women in communities. Those behaviors were learned.
Yes, ma'am.
Our people are kings and queens. So those types of overt lessons, behaviors, were not who we were. I think that's critical to even think, something that's critical to consider as well.
We're going to go there too. Dwight Robinson says everything had that and then more drunk text. Everything had that and then more drunk text. I could have cooked her. Okay. I missed something he's talking about there.
I think he was talking about the treatment of men by the women in the service.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Let me go back to what Dr. Carolyn just said, please.
Okay.
She's talking about, unfortunately, that's learned. People forget that slavery went on for 300 years in this country. 300 years. If you count a generation as 40 years, that's 8, 9, 10 generations of it. There were many people born into it and died still in it. Okay, many, many people. And that's a lot of time to have what I call psychic disrepair. A lot of times to learn behaviors.
Absolutely.
The breeding man, the breeding woman, they could not have family attachment because they were going to be farmed out to different farms to make more slave babies. Buck breaking, all that stuff. And then after slavery, people forget we had another 100 years when Black people had no rights. Jim Crow laws. They couldn't be out after night. They couldn't own a gun, whereas white people could. They couldn't get a bank loan, even if they was in the military. They couldn't get housing. They couldn't do all that. So we had 100 years. So we got at this point is 465 years of psychic disrepair. It has taken us this long. To me, it's incredible how Black people can still go through days with dignity today, still go through days dealing with slights and things like that with such decorum today. It's amazing how far we've come. All Black people are the descendants of amazing survivors, of clever people, and of tough people. Dr. Carolyn says, exactly, in all caps with 3 exclamation points.
Absolutely. Now, understanding, if you're even considering the 400 years or 465 years, as you so eloquently portrayed it, you also get to understand that some of these handing down of information was not linear. So it wasn't just by the generation. For myself, as an example, and I'll just bring that out, I was raised by my mother's mother's father's mother. She was the daughter of a sharecropper who raised me in the 60s. Understand there was some overlap for things I didn't even understand until I was almost 30, that the things that I considered abuse was supposed to be to save my behind, right? She knew that you had to keep them straight because you rather me beat you than master beat you, right?
Right.
So what I saw as abuse was her trying to save my life. And it wasn't until I understood some of the psychic disrepair, some of the unfortunate generational curses, if you will, to even go by another name, that she did not mean me harm. She was trying to save my life. And some of that I overlearned in the next generation as I handed it down because I don't want to be abusive. So I'm not even going to be disciplinary
Mm.
because I don't understand how it goes together, how there's levels to it, because I overlearned it. She underlearned it. I overlearned it, and then we handed it off. Now we get to the generation that has no discipline,
Right.
and
Right.
Because we was the punk ass
I,
parents.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to perpetuate what I felt was abuse onto the next generation.
Yeah. We overlearned that this generation. Go ahead. I feel like Ernest, get ready, and then Nicole, come on in.
I was going to say definitely at what this, I'm glad you said that because I thought I like that you did bring that up because I thought it was abuse as well. But then I go to places like the UK where they consider it abuse. You can't whoop your child. You can't beat your child. Even though I'm American, we still live there now. We cannot discipline our child the way we could in America. So even though we're military in another country, when you're in that country, we have probably over 20,000 troops, we'll say there. You can't discipline your child that way because they believe it is abuse. So it also depends upon where you live and who you live around, what's considered abuse in the system, which is hurtful because you're trying to save your child's life. You're trying to keep out of a system that will systematically, when you talk about generational, systematically, all these men that are locked up in this system 20, 30, 40 years will not have kids. Well, because they're going to be in jail for the rest of their life because we could not beat them or whoop them or discipline them to keep them out of jail. That would have kept them out of jail.
Right.
That we could discipline. So I
It's
like
such
how you,
insidious. You're right, Ernest. You're right.
because we're canceling out generations.
Some of these kids wouldn't be in jail if they had gotten just a couple more butt whoopings. Sister Carolyn says exactly. Lisa, come on, Nicole. What you got?
I agree because when I think of how I was raised, I learned Motown music on Saturday morning doing chores.
Yeah.
Washing baseballs with a toothbrush.
Whoop.
Okay.
Good
okay.
training.
Okay. And so I have people that I'm 52. So I have people in my age range that say what we did for our children, for some was a disservice. But look at how we turned out. The discipline, the go-getting, the entrepreneurship, all of the things that we have is because of how we were raised. So some went to the extreme and where they did not do any discipline. My children today think mama was the craziest thing breathing.
But they don't know.
Because they knew mama did not, I would fight a brick about them, but I will whoop you too. But I used to tell them home was the safe place to fail. Because when you fail at home, I'm going to correct you in love. The world will just correct you. Ain't no love involved. And so now, as they say, train them up in a way so that they know where to go, even when they fall off track. They have chosen their own track. and they are getting some PhDs in the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
But it's because they chose to, not because they had to, because their foundation is solid. So when I look at my child and the friends that she chose, I was a child, whose house was you at when you learned that lesson? Because you didn't learn that here at home. So I agree that we have to have some form of discipline. This gentle parenting that exists in our society, I don't know nothing about that. I guess if I reach in a right spot, it's a lump right there. Still remind me what my auntie said about curfew, okay? And she was a Chicago police officer, just retired, all right? So, but I like what Dr. Carolyn said about women not getting along. It's not who we were, that it was something we were divided and we were brought into it. And I just said that in the business and the entrepreneur world, I don't want to teach somebody, I don't want to share a tip with you because I don't want you to get ahead of me. That is never my mentality. I have to support Lisa, and I would hope that Lisa supports me simply because we Black women. It's a billion people plus.
Even in the Black women dynamic, there was a separation.
Yes.
I mean, it's one that I was challenged with for many years, being of a different complexion of Black.
Light skin.
Come on now.
She's
gonna open up school day. She's gonna open up
Absolutely. And then I'm also biracial. I'm Hispanic and Black. So, you trying to lean to your Hispanic side and you don't want to lean to your Black side. And you look, here's who I am.
That's
all
right.
of these pieces and parts make me who I am. There are certain times where different positions are more prominent, but it's still one complete individual.
Yeah,
you're right. I want to read what Dr. Carolyn says. She says, even Black women not getting along, and then she goes to all caps, is not who we were. We were divided and we bought into it. She also says, Lisa, exactly. And Dwight Robinson says, yes, we in Baltimore, we made our stoops immaculate. And I don't think he's talking about just clean with dirt. You couldn't bring that crap around the house. That's my stoop. That crap, that trash couldn't come over here because we're going to police that. Dr. Carolyn says, say that. Dwight says, now it further encourages me to show up in excellence. Amen. Dr. Carolyn says, now, Lisa, you talking now. That's another great colloquialism. You talking now. Oh, I hear you. I love it. I love it.
Can I add one more dynamic?
Of course. Please.
So recently, technology has brought us a long way. So by 23andMe, I have found my father's people. I didn't grow up knowing my dad.
Okay.
So that is one of the things that has been a huge impact on our communities, with fathers not being in their children's lives for whatever reason. Mama put you out, you decide to leave. But what you have is a whole community of children that are dealing with the baggage and the mistakes and the consequences that other people made for them.
Absolutely.
I have a classmate, he called me just yesterday. He said, Nicole, my mom is still alive. I said, I'm sorry, keep talking, because I missed how you don't know your mom. His mother put him up for adoption when she was 18, but she was Catholic. So she couldn't, she was unwed. So she put him up for adoption. By this same DNA type test, he found his mother. Now he's talking to me about, how do I reach out to her and what do I say? So we as children grew up with, some of us are suffering with identity issues. We don't know who we are. We're adopted. We're put under other step parents who abuse us because we're not their child. So we have a lot of internal issues. That's why I say we don't need enemies from the outside.
Yes, ma'am.
We have our own internal issues to deal with. So we're coming from a place where the light skin, the dark skin, the brown skin, the in between, you don't know who your daddy is. You don't know who your mama is. And then I'm still showing up great.
Yeah, amazing.
We are still showing up great.
Amazing.
We are fighting against situations and circumstances that a lot of other races don't have.
It's exhausting. to be black in America.
One more time. You talking now in the words of Dr. King. You talking now.
This was designed to be, we're all in what's called the Cigar Cabin and the EmpowermentCenter.online virtual community. If you guys that got here, you saw there was different rooms and different things going on in this space. And I'm so excited to have this space. This is our space where we can speak freely. We don't have to worry about the whims of Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or anybody. We can do what we want in this space because we bought it. We own this whole space. So I'm so excited that you're here, that you can speak freely in here. We did design this as a Saturday morning cigar talk. Now, I lit this cigar at 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. It's 11:07 now. And this cigar still has another 45 minutes to an hour to go. So I'm going to keep going, okay? That's how long. My wife has been around her husband so much, and my wife is very, very observant of me. Very observant. She pays attention to everything I do and say and how I do and say it. So my wife will, like say, for example, in the evening, if I'm still down here, she'll FaceTime me or go live to see how I'm doing, check on her husband, and she'll want to see my stick because she knows, based upon the size of my stick that's left, how much time she has before her husband comes upstairs, because she also knows and respects that he does not want to put his cigar out. Once I light it, I'm there wherever I'm at, and I'm going to stay until the very end. So we still got some time here. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Lisa. What was you going to say?
I love your dynamic. I really do. I love your dynamic, and it's this type of display between the two of you that couples need, or people in the dating phase need, because when you don't have a mentor, mentors don't just apply to school books and business. We need somebody that's going to teach us life lessons. Okay. So I really am enjoying this space with you guys.
Thank you, my sister, for saying that. Nicole, by chance, are you still in the dating world?
Hold on, Brian.
Okay, go ahead.
I was inviting Nicole to Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We actually meet in the Women's Empowerment Space, and we join together for similar meetings, but only the women. So I invite you to show up Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what time zone you're in, but
I'm in Central Time, so I'm an hour behind you.
Absolutely. Well, come on in.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Nicole, by chance, are you still in the dating scene, or are you coupled and married, or what is it? Sorry, I'm sorry. Because it's frustrating.
Let me wave the flag.
Like this space, and you like it being open. You said now you got questions.
So okay, so I ended a long-term relationship last year.
Okay.
I went through a healing process. I went through some counseling, and I keep my counsel on speed dial.
Okay.
And I ain't afraid to say that. And so in January I did. I'm in Dallas. I've only been here a couple of years, so I moved here unfamiliar to the space. And so I ventured out into the dating world. And it sent me right back inside to these four walls with this
everyone
person.
Says that. People say that so much.
People say that the dating pool is full of pee. Pee would be nice. Pee would be nice, and that's sad to say. But we are in a society where sex is prevalent. Okay. And so men are just like, and I'm not saying women aren't, but I'm not on the woman profile. I'm on the man to woman profile. Let's be clear about that. Okay. Let me say what my intentions are. I'm just looking for a friend with benefits. And let me tell you how long I've been out of the dating scene. He was of the Caucasian persuasion. He said, I'm just looking for a friend with benefits. I said, well, I got health benefits, but how do they help you?
Ooh.
And then he blocked me. I said, oh, those benefits.
He wants some coochie coupons.
Baby, I'm like, I can't even pass out a coochie credit, okay? I'm so sorry, sir. And it has been downhill since then. And I do on my Facebook page, I've done several posts about dating and weight loss don't mix. So I've been on a health journey.
Really?
And so yeah,
This is interesting.
I have a mutated gene. And so I told myself, so now I'm a damn Ninja Turtle. Is that what you're trying to tell me? But I have a very rare disease that has caused my gene to mutate. My body overproduces white blood cells. And so they didn't really know what to do. And so at the time of my diagnosis, I was one of 1,500 worldwide cases. Okay. So as I go on this weight loss journey, my care team gets together and I had a breast reduction in March. And I mean a significant reduction. Since we out here, we can say anything.
We can.
I went from a 46H. Now, Mina probably like, look at Ernest's face.
Hey, I was married to a HJ. Okay. And she had a breast reduction too. Before Lisa. They took 9.5 pounds out of her chest.
I went down to I'm a B cup.
You're a B. You're not a B cup, Nicole.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. I've seen your pictures.
You haven't seen my new pictures.
Okay.
I'm a B cup, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm in Dallas, but I can't find a good person to do a good measurement.
Okay.
So my seamstress back in Chicago got in Zoom with me and I put on one of my older garments. And then she shipped me what she thought I was. I had to ship it back because it was, Lisa, I ain't said this in a while about a bra. It was too big. And then she had to actually do a stitch to bring it down. I'm a B cup, baby.
Okay.
I told the doctor to make me a B cup. And he said, are you serious? I said, you better be glad I didn't ask to be president of the Raising That Committee.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm 52. We've been together for a long time.
Wait, I gotta catch up these comments. I gotta catch up comments. Dwight Robinson. Wait, I gotta catch up comments. Dwight
go ahead.
Robinson
I'm
says,
sorry.
Truly, I aspire to have that. And I think he was talking about what Nicole said about what she noticed about the dynamic between Lisa and I. Lena Janelle says, I was getting ready to say that, sis. The dating pool is full of pee. And she puts some emoji. She goes, I just want a healthy win-win partnership with a husband. She's stating her desire. Dr. Carolyn says, I didn't even know there was an H. And Lena,
listen, I've been down to an M. I lost a few pounds. The alphabet of a bra goes the same length as the alphabet of the alphabet.
Oh, wow.
And some double letters in there.
And there's some double H's Lisa put in there.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, Nicole. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nicole.
But that's okay. So there was a guy who invited himself to my house on the first date. Now, mind you, I called it a meeting. He called it a date. Lisa, what you call when you sit at the table, he have a Coke and you have a Coke? What that is? A meeting. That sounds like a meeting.
Well, you only ask Lisa, so go ahead.
I'm not asking y'all because y'all might agree with that old knucklehead. That was a meeting. But I posted one of my favorite.
There you go. Pictures. Ernest was going to agree with you.
Okay, well, thank you, Ernest. Ernest, what did you say? Because I said that, Brian.
I have Cokes all the time with people. I do. So I'm agree with you.
Okay.
But this guy told me nice rack.
I'm gonna tell you why guys say outlandish things.
I said, boy, I'm not holding no bikes. What rack are you?
You know what he meant. You know exactly what he meant.
I know what he meant.
No, she saved his life with that comeback because she could have just reached across the table and snatched the good one out of
Okay.
Nicole, you said it earlier, women against women. He said nice rack because he has a history that he can call upon, a memory that he can call upon, where that kind of outlandish statement, nice rack, nice ass, has advanced his cause.
Well, honey,
if he wants to play in the pool with me, he got to level up.
But what if he never levels up?
He never plays in the pool with me.
Okay, Ernest, go ahead, Ernest.
With what Nicole is saying, I believe he's in 2024. And yes, Brian, I'm agreeing with the ladies again on this one.
Okay,
you can't keep don't count these. That with social media, because I'm on social media a lot. um, these videos, these different things on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they give power to thoughts that should not be the way dating is portrayed. And so if you go through reels on your phone for 10, 15 minutes, you're going to see these dating things about the balloon, from the balloon pop to you name it. You're going to see all these dating things, dating advice, dating videos, dating reels, whatever, about where what Brian just said is held true, where a guy does tell a girl nice rack, or why he didn't touch my behind today, or why she didn't look at, why you can't wear gray sweatpants. I mean, I can keep going. These are the things that people see as comedic and funny, and so these people on both sides get the confidence to believe that this is the way I'm supposed to get somebody. I'm
But
supposed to
you know,
wear,
they don't understand that there's levels to it.
but they're
Because
not going because their mind is reeled up.
It's all
real.
looks. If he's a handsome guy can get away with saying that. Go ahead, Lisa.
Right.
No.
Brian walked past me without touching my butt. It don't matter. When we are or where we are, it's not only required from my perspective, but it's something that he's naturally going to do. But he couldn't do that on the first date.
Yes, I could. But
No,
Brian, I think I'm glad y'all don't have to go back there.
Dr. Carolyn Stevens says, wow, nice rack with exclamation points.
Yeah.
And Lena
He
says,
couldn't do that on the
wow,
first
I
date.
didn't know the titty alphabet went that far either. Damn, titties are as complicated as the queer community. Just be adding letters. I thought we stopped at maybe a G at most. I'm feeling kind of minuscule with these triple D's, LOL. Dr. Carolyn says, you are not supposed to say that out loud. You keep that in your head. And she also goes on to say, unfortunately, there are some women who accept that and give permission to that. And Dr. Carolyn, keep going, even encourage it. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
No, we're not our ancestors. What was acceptable 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, is not acceptable today. You know, you hear that comment all the time. Well, what you bring to the table, and you hear women say, "Well, I am the table." I need a man to understand your part is always going to be bigger.
Absolutely.
Always. So don't ask me what I bring to the table, because you already know I'm telling you I'm bringing the table, the chairs, the servants, the setting, the food, and everything else. What house do you have for me to put the table in?
Whoop.
That's what you should be talking about.
That's a good point. He need to have a house to put the table in. Go ahead, Lisa. Use about this. Oh, that comment about walking past you and feeling your butt or not feeling your butt. Okay.
You know, it's a true statement.
I know, but I want you to. What does that mean? What does that mean, though?
That meaning you, Brian,
Lord,
cannot get past me. If I'm on the other side of the room with this much space between us, he's going to make sure that he narrows the space so that he's got to touch me.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. But that's okay, because I expect it. And I appreciate it. And if he doesn't do that, I often would, well, I don't think it's ever happened, but if he doesn't, I would probably wonder in my mind, where is he going? And he don't have time to brush up against me. What is on his mind that he doesn't have time to give
don't
me
you think?
something?
If you know,
Lisa,
we don't
do you
just
brush
me.
up in that moment? If he doesn't, do you brush up against him?
Oh yeah, I'll back up against him.
Okay, let's take it off of me. Let's take it off of me.
If it was not you, it would not be.
But if it's just men in general, men have to consider that. Men have to think about that. Okay.
The only person that a man has to think about is their woman.
Right.
You can really
even that is a double-edged sword, baby.
Huh?
Even that, only he has to think about is his own woman. What if he's dating? Okay, does he have to touch the woman he's dating's butt too? Do you have to do that?
No.
That's first of all, that's early.
Right.
And
she said his woman, not a woman.
Wife, not a woman. You're not in a dating pool. I don't want you touching my butt if you're touching all the butts. I'm special.
That's it.
And we get to define that. I think the problem is
I gotta go back to what Mr. Brian said. That is true though, and it may not be for you all, Okay, I'm going to caveat what I'm going to say by saying the two of you ladies are excluded from this comment. Going back to what he said,
About
if I is attractive enough, can get away with that.
No, that's not
the man
true.
is attractive enough.
Finish. You got to let me finish. Remember,
Okay.
I'm coming from the perspective of what I see.
Yes.
I'm just going to see. These are the people that protect and serve you. There are attractive guys that are considered attractive that I can say something to a woman, just start snickering.
Mm-hmm.
It's been bad. And just be laughing her ass off.
Yep.
Yeah, I do think we give passes out.
Yep.
And you, I said I excluded you all from this because your level of thinking is higher and different and more respectable. I'm talking about these young ladies that are between the ages of 20 and 30.
Oh,
honey,
okay. All right. Well, let me sit back then.
that takes me a moment.
Calm down, Nicole. Don't get your back up.
We'll sit back then.
Because some of the young women are far too accepting.
Yeah.
Again,
And
when I said we, I was doing the we collective, then there's the we me, and then there's the we that I'm no longer a part of, the younger women.
Right.
You know, it's difficult. I look at the younger women these days and I remind myself that I used to be them at one point. I also remind myself that some of the healing and the defining of who and what I am that I went through my healing journey helped me to realize that some of those behaviors were not acceptable. Please understand that some of the traumas that I went through caused promiscuity, lack of self awareness, and self value. So some of those things would have a propensity to be accepting as, oh, he did that to me, that like that made me special. So it's a two-edged sword when I deal with young women at that. I don't automatically condemn them for being accepting of that. I often go back to this one phrase that Brian and I heard at a conference, not not what are you doing, but what happened to you. To have that conversation.
What happened?
What happened to you that made you think that this was an acceptable response from a young man to a beautiful woman like you versus, girl, sit down.
Yeah, well,
Now,
something happened to her. Let me catch up comments too, please.
We can get to the point where I say, come sit down.
Amen. Dr. Carolyn says, unfortunately, there are some women who accept that and give permission to that. Dwight Robinson said, but he didn't. I did know the T alphabet. Lena Janelle submits, exactly, Dr. Carolyn. It makes it harder for the rest of us who demand and expect a sense of decorum. Don't touch or talk to me like I'm a menu item in all caps. Ugh, and yuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Carolyn says, I wonder if a woman on a first date said to a man, hey, you have a big penis. Would that be acceptable coming from a woman? Ernest?
Well, again, great question. However, it depends on the man.
Come on, Ernest. Don't bite your tongue. Come on.
So, okay. So being honest, coming from a woman to a man, that would be kind of aggressive, but it depends on the man. Most men like that. They just do. So the answer is probably.
Right. He'd be fine.
Like our ego stroke. We do. And a lot of guys, they attach that to their ego. So they would love to hear that.
Yep. Dr. Carolyn says, 20 and 30, that's a different category. She also goes on to say, when you are 50 and over, handsome takes on a different meaning. Oh, that's another area I want to go through. Nicole Johnson submits in the chat, some would, unfortunately, and Lena follows that up with, nobody nope. That's not true. At any age in my lifespan, I don't care how good looking a man is, if you touch or talk to me in a certain way, there's a problem. My daughter is that way now. We talk about this, and it makes me proud that she knows her worth and boundaries. Lena, please, if you're willing to, how old is your daughter? And Lena says, right to Dr. Carolyn. In my adult life, I have had this thought. I've even said it to other people. What is sexual harassment? Is when the unattractive man says it, okay? Because the attractive guy can get away with it, okay? That's what harassment.
Lisa, what you gonna do with him, girl?
Hey, but he not wrong though. I hate to say
no, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what age group you talking about?
I in my life, I've seen it since high school.
I can at least say from 17 to about 35. That's real. 17 to about 35. And I'm not making this up. I'm for real. Like, you see stuff. I saw it in high school too. I'm only 38 years old, but I remember high school days.
Right.
You can say certain stuff, and it's all good. I was one of them guys that said certain stuff, and it was all good. I worked at these fast food joints. I say certain stuff to a girl out of McDonald's drive-thru. It was all good. I say stuff to a girl that came in. It again, certain age groups, you can say certain stuff, and it was all good. You go to the fair, you say certain stuff, it was all good. The mall, it's because I had a little bit of money, I had a nice little car, had my music loud,
and you're a handsome guy. Ernest could get away because Ernest is suave. Dwight Robinson has gotten that oomph. You can get it look. And Lena says, my Bree is 27. 27-year-old nuclear engineer. She was like that in college too. Okay. Dwight says, very, exclamation point. Dr. Karen, 1735 is a different category. Okay, we established that. Okay. So let's go to she said over 50 is a different definition of handsome. Okay. It means something different when you're over 50. Handsome.
Who's the lady talking about her daughter?
Go ahead.
Who's the lady talking about her daughter?
Lena Janelle.
You know why her daughter is that way? It's because the standard that she set for her child.
I'll say that.
And then again, the mentoring, the growing, the grooming, that makes a difference. Because I was 19 when I lived with my aunt and the young lady across the street, and I use the term young lady very loosely, okay? Had the little neighborhood hood rat as her boyfriend. And the boy head was crushing on Nicole. I didn't even pay him any attention. She knocked on my aunt's door on a Saturday morning because she want to have a conversation with me about why her man looking at me. My aunt called me on the phone, come downstairs. I come downstairs, hair all over my head, a blanket wrapped around me. What do you want? And so this young lady proceeds to tell me that her boyfriend been checking me out. She said, you know what? Before my niece even responds, let me tell you what I have for her, a standard. And that young man that you call a boyfriend is just that, a boy. She can't bring him in my house, let alone can she be around him. So when we have someone that is guiding a young lady and helping her understand the standards, yes, we at 27, yes, she's got it set. So it's not always about the age. It is about the influence and the impact.
Amen.
So if Lisa was guiding someone at 16, 17 years old, that young lady would be an anomaly because she doesn't fit into the mold of what today's current 16, 17-year-olds are looking for or how they're behaving because somebody is influencing her. So it's all about our responsibility as parents. What do we set for our children? Because my aunt didn't play that.
Let me go back to some. Go ahead, Ernest. Before I go back, go ahead, Ernest.
Didn't know I was doing that, but that was not the standard he set for me. I tell you that already. He was not like that at all. He did not play that, and if he'd have known I was doing that back then, my little head would have got snatched up. So I'm gonna put it back also on the guys as well. I know we're talking about the young ladies, but the same with these young men that I deal with, and I'm talking about again military that I have with them when they look a certain way. I say something because I'm real. I'm like real vocal. I say something. I'm like, what you looking at her like that for? Oh, no. Tell her what you want. No, I'm good. I'm just okay then. Like, you got to get it together. We're here to protect and serve. We're here to do a mission to make sure everybody makes from point A to point B, and then we all go home. She don't need that from you.
Amen.
She don't need to wind up pregnant or catching something from you and having to. So that's the standard that we also have to set as men too with these young guys. You see them acting kind of crazy, you say something to them. Yeah. Because I'm not afraid. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody, but I'm not afraid to because I don't want a situation to happen where now we got conflict between offices. We got conflict between people that are supposed to be mission-minded. And then it goes all the way back to the United States to where everybody is right now. If you have a son, someone that you influence as a male, have these conversations like the young lady Lena was saying, when she's having with her daughter. They have conversations. That matters because a lot of people don't have conversations until somebody's pregnant. By then, it's probably too late.
It's not probably. It is.
Let me catch up comments. Lena Janelle says, "Thank you, Nicole. My mom and dad groomed me that way as well. I am single now, but because of my standards, I refuse to
Right.
settle out of thirstiness. That's a big deal. Sister Carolyn says over 50 handsome means excellent character, excellent manners, talks with some sense, smells good, have good
Ooh.
credit, goals, a job or business, and peaceful. Now that is a handsome man. That's how she defines it. Lena says, as a teacher, I do reach back gently. Every little black girl doesn't have access to parents who groom them as a Jack or Jill organization. Dwight Robinson admits the standard is the standard. Lena says, please expound, Dwight, on what the standard is the standard. Dwight, she's asking you to expand on that. Lena Janelle says, yes, Dr. Carolyn, come with it. I love Dr. Carolyn, what she said about what the over 50 handsome means. I love it. But I will tell you, I've been married a long time, but there were pockets of my adult life where I wasn't married. Now, I'm the marrying kind. I prefer to have my own woman to be possessive. But when I wasn't in a marriage, I was just trying to get it. I was just trying to get the booty. And I learned stuff that would make that easier or faster because I wanted to get the booty faster. I wanted to bring them to my house because I had my own place. I always had a nice place. I wanted to bring them, except for that 10 months time when I didn't. But I wanted to bring them to my place and I had everything there because that's where my bedroom was. That's where my couch was because I wanted to get it. There's an expression, and I don't think some of the women in the room going to like it, but it was true with me and my boys. This was true for us. We would cross the line to find out where the line is, okay? And we had this expression, two things I'm going to say, and this was real in my life. It ain't real today. Yeah, you might want to cover your ears for this, girl. When in doubt, whip it out, okay? When in doubt, when it's getting iffy, show her the package, take it out, because then you're going to get it, okay? You're going to get it, or the evening's going to end. Either option was what I wanted. I wanted the evening to be over, or I wanted to get the booty. So when in doubt, whip it out, okay? And the other thing that's true in my adult life is if she was in a relationship or a marriage, and I met her in a bar, we would look, me and my boys would the same way. We'd have a conversation with her at a bar, and we knew she was married or in a relationship. The moment she complained about the man she currently has, we knew we was going to score that night. We would look forward to it. My man this and my man that. Well, you might as well unbuckle your buckle, okay? Because you're going to get it. She's complaining about her man to somebody she just met in the bar. You're going to get the booty that night, okay? So those are things that I learned. And you talk about women against women. Oh, my goodness. Why was she in the bar in the first place? Complaining about her man to somebody she just met. Okay. Dr. Carolyn submits an ugly man, a cheater, a liar, a scrub, no character, no manners, bad manners, cheat, can't talk. That's an ugly man. Amen. Hello to Sushi Roll. Okay. So why is that an adage? When in doubt, whip it out. Why is that a proverb almost? It's because we have enough memories and enough units of history to know that's an effective way. That's what it is.
And it goes back to what you were saying about if the conversation is had like these, Lena Janelle said, of course, Nicole has said as well, and Miss Lisa has said, the standard is had with your as you have with your daughters or your sons to look out for these things. More than likely, when they come up to these situations, they're more than likely to make the right choice than the wrong choice
because of the mentorship.
Conversations are important, even as teachers. I know they don't get paid to have these conversations with these kids, but some teachers just care. And they have conversations with these kids in their classroom. Like my dad, he's been a teacher 30-something years. He talks to these young boys all the time. And he has conversations with them about how to be not a man, but how to be a boy at their age. How to conduct themselves. Because you're a boy. I'm not trying to tell you how to be a man. I'm trying to teach you between the ages of 10 and 14 how to conduct yourself, how to keep it in your pants, and how to focus on what's important, beginning to build a future.
Amen. Lena Janelle submits, yep, Ain't no over 50 grown woman looking for a man who just looks good or is a good sexual partner. You can't build with just that. Brian, this needs to be your next book. Holla if you need an illustrator. Shit, I got a book. I'm writing a book right now called Men Need Men. And it's about men need to be able to talk to men. Men need to be able to talk to men. That's why I have a men's organization since 2013. Dwight Robinson says, Q the meme, got him. Cue the meme, got him. Dr. Karen says, Brian, that won't work with these young women. If you whip it out, they're going to say, bring it over here, and they're going to whip theirs out. Yes, it did work. If you whip it out, bring it over here. Okay.
Not lying.
She ain't lying, right, Ernest?
Not lying.
Ernest, yeah, you have no idea, Ernest, how happy I am that you're in the room. I needed another man in the room.
You can buy a woman, you can buy a woman as a nice gesture, Starbucks here. I'm not joking. If you say, you know what, I'll pay for that for you, it is over. They ask what room number you in. Girl, it's just Starbucks.
Right.
That's all I'm just saying. I'm gonna pay for your food. I'm just being nice gestures. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's 117 degrees. I don't know. But what I do know is it's true. I mean, even think about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, nobody cared that men wore gray sweatpants or hoochie daddy shorts. Right. You didn't care.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, it's a problem to have gray sweatpants and short shorts for guys because we're showing too much. When has that ever been? I mean, you look at the NBA. The NBA was born on shorts. Nobody cared.
They used to wear really short shorts and they used to have underwear. They were playing basketball in their underwear out there, but now they have longer shorts. Okay,
right.
But at one time they did. Okay.
They did.
Lena says she ain't lying from what I hear, and she says sadly. She even put a sadly icon up there. And Dwight says no lies. It is jacked up. I wouldn't want to go back into the dating pool because, first off, thank God I got Lisa. Okay, but if I had to go back in the dating pool, what would I know? Okay, about how this is going on today, it would be crazy for me. I wouldn't want to do it. Okay,
I literally feel like a fish out of water. Literally, and so what I've gone on is a personal journey. Really focusing on where my career is going, putting more time and effort into building my business, being a mentor. I'm taking a portion of my business into the corporate world. That's where my focus is. That's my energy.
Okay.
So I've been on some of these dating apps. I took the whole month of July.
This past July,
I have eased back into just checking messages, but really not doing a whole lot of engagement. And what I realized is that I wasted a lot of time. And that's a commodity that, once it's gone, right?
I'm gonna interject because I'm gonna interject real quick because Brian and I actually pray together for many of our friends that are single. We were 47 when we got married.
47.
47. So a lot of people.
No, we were 47 when we met.
When we met?
Yes, we got married. I was 48 when we got married. We were 47 when we met.
We were 46 when we met.
All right, baby, go ahead.
Anyway, we were old and grown. We were grown and old, right? So it's important to know that we didn't meet on a social media app like Pile of Fish or any of those grinders or whatever. We met through mutual introductions, but also through prayer. Both of us were praying individually for the right person. Yes. I wasn't praying for a husband. I was praying for a male mentor to partner with Women's Empowerment Networks. I was praying for the men to have a male component. And I had just recently got out of a bad marriage, and Brian was also praying for a mate. He was praying also for a mate.
For 2 years. corporately.
for 2 years. Absolutely. So some of it, I want to say that some of the getting with the right person and connecting with the right person is A, let your request be known. God says, ask, seek, knock, right? But not only to God, but to the people in your circle that you respect so that they can look for opportunities to make introductions. Not play matchmaker or anything like that, but an opportunity to make introductions to give you a chance to meet quality caliber individuals. Because even though they might not be the one, if they're a quality caliber individual, they might know the one who's the one,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So I often find that so many of the women friends that I have who are avoiding the apps and all of that, I get that, but they're also not making themselves available.
Mhm.
You know, the word of God says if you want to find a friend, show yourself friendly. If you the only man that you want to find you has to come up to your house and knock on the door, like
These ones, stop it! Look, because in my apartment building, they go to the concierge service downstairs. They don't even come to the door.
See? But Lisa's telling you some truth because we have amazing single women friends. We both know amazing women who are accomplished business owners, homeowners, about their business, beautiful, all of that. And they can't successfully find the right person for them. Okay. And I don't think it's them. Okay. But so we do pray for them. We do pray for them because we want them to have what we have. We want that for them. Lena Janelle says, fam, I got to get back to my client's project. This was an excellent town hall meeting. Amen. I'll be back for the next one. Plus, Lisa's group. Thank you, Lisa. I hear you loud and clear, sis. Hashtag Cigar Lounge. Amen. Dr. Callen says, I am making my request known. I desire to have a husband, so pray for me. She
you were already
desires to
on
have
the
a
list,
husband.
Dr.
So you know what,
Carol?
Dr. Carolyn, Lisa and I will do? We're going to pray for you by name. We're going to pray for
Absolutely.
you by name. That's how we do it in my house. And we did meet through prayer. And we did have mutual interests. Um, During those 2 years when I was praying for God to send me the right woman, I was dating still, and a lot of the women were great women, quality women, but they just wasn't my wife. Okay. And my friends were recommending what about this woman, Brian? How about her? Go to dinner with her, go to dinner. And I would do it sometimes, and I would not do it sometimes. And they were nice people, and my friends thought, but the woman I ended up with was not one that my boys propped up for me. She was made clear to me by God. Okay. Here she is, Brian. And really, Lisa, and I think she kind of agrees with this, but sometimes she doesn't. I think Lisa became my wife the first day we met. That's when I
I
think she became my wife the first day we met because she never came across to me as she was looking to see what can she get out of this association, what can she get out of this relationship. And I've had those women too. They would size me up. Okay, he could do this, this, and this. He's capable in this area, that area, that area. Okay, Brian, you're capable. Okay, let's be together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It made me think for a season of my life, all women are crazy. I did have that thought in my life. They're all crazy.
you're not necessarily wrong.
But you know what it is? I think that we are at a season at our age. When you get to a certain age, the number of the prospects declines significantly.
Is that really true?
I do, because see, I think as men get older, and I'm not saying all men. Here, that's my disclaimer.
Okay.
Not all men. As they get older, they look for something more that's ego stroking, and so they're looking for that arm piece that makes them feel good. That's why you have a lot of these young women on TikTok with these requirements of you got to send me $1,500 to get my hair done. I go buy a new outfit, get my nails done. I'm like, in what time period did they start doing this?
Right.
I must have been off the market,
That
under the
is
market.
prevalent. That's prevalent,
Okay?
Nicole. That's prevalent.
So I don't understand that concept. But we already as women as a gender, we outnumber men already, right? We already outnumber you. And now we're getting to a point where we have standards. We're raising the bar for what we want in a partner. So guess what? Our selection pool just went down some more. And it's getting harder. And I tell them, you throwing it out there like that. They turning heads. And then someone like me who has standards and requirements, it's very difficult. So I will say this, and even on my dating profile, I said I desire to be married, but I'm not desperate. And I leave that up there because I want you to keep your games for the ones who want to play. It's not safe over here to play games with me. I'm not the kid. But I have a book that I'm reading that is 31 prayers for my future husband. I don't know where he is, I don't know who he is, but I'm still praying for him. But I'm also reading A Lady in Waiting. Okay, because that is what I am. I desire to be in that a healthy household unit with the man who understands what his role is. This is where mentoring comes in for men today. They don't understand what their role is. And I'm like, what? I'm not in the build a bear stage no more. I'm not finna build them. I didn't retire my superwoman ass. My Captain Save a whole cake is gone. I didn't burn that heifer. I'm not doing it no more. I did it for a while, but I'm not dating your potential.
Absolutely. But I want to say this, Sister Nicole. My brother actually told me this. My brother is the same age as I. I think he's like 6 months older than I. We're foster siblings. Um, what he said when I came to North Carolina, because we're from New York, is that, and this is a Southern thing that he has picked up on, is that we have to be mindful that in our presenting as uh, as honorable and worthy women, that we also don't present as wives. He says that we often give off the energy before we are wives, many particularly mothers, that they were off the market
Yeah.
and so they weren't giving the right energy to attract.
Isn't that subtle though? You know.
It's very subtle. It's very subtle. It goes along with you got to come out of your house looking like you want somebody to find you, but you don't have to be holed up.
Hey, stop.
Go ahead, Ernest.
Ernest, Ernest, you see how she's swinging at me? You see how she's
I was
Go ahead,
not.
Ernest. Go ahead, Ernest.
I'm all the dots. But what I was going to say in adjunction to that is I want to remind, especially the people that are watching, as far as culture is concerned, all this that we're talking about is Western culture stuff.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Western culture is very conservative. There's still arranged marriages. There is none of this. We're going to go on social media and find somebody. Feel family oriented. Your family finds who you're with, and you learn to love each other, or you learn to be with each other. But there ain't no divorce. This is all Western culturalized. This is stuff that we didn't even have thought process of until we entered into this country and became a part of this country system in the
Wow.
15th. We had our conservative, we had the happiness and the range or whatever we had back in our motherlands or other places. But Western culture has made us change, adapt, change, adapt, change, adapt. Try to figure out, as we try to figure out, I am as a black man, I got to figure out how I can be confident, how I can choose the right woman, how I can make sure I'm with the right person to have the right kids, raise the right kids, get the right job, all hopefully these next 80 years before I die. It's a lot for African Americans to do all of this, submerge into a culture that was never for them, never a part of them, and actually enslaved them. So all these things we're talking about today are everyday challenges for us, not just, we got time to figure it out.
Yeah.
We really don't have as much time as we think we do because of all these things that have been marginalized and placed inside of us. So I'm just reminding everybody, all we're talking about is Western culturalized stuff. Because over here, they still doing arranged stuff, and everybody has no choice but to be happy.
And remind
Period.
people where you are, Ernest, the perspective
I'm in
that
Kuwait. I'm in Kuwait City. That's in the Middle East. That's where I am. And so I see, I even work with a lot of different cultures who are used to being away from their partner for 10, 15 years, because a lot of people that work here, they send money back home in India, Singapore, and all those places. So they're away from their family 2 to 3 to 4 years before they go on vacation at a time. Some have worked there 20, even 30 years,
Yeah.
haven't seen their family in years because they get room, accommodations, board, and they don't get paid a lot. So they can't travel back home all the time. A lot of them don't even have smartphones. That's the normal thing. That's their normalcy. And this is not a third world country, Kuwait. Not a third world country at all. It's like the fifth richest country in the world. However, the people that work in this country at these different jobs, at the malls and stuff, they are from other places. They're called OCNs, other country nationals. So their values are all Eastern culture values. So when you have Western culture people like us come over here and meet the Eastern culture, it's a culture shock. They're
Yeah.
like, wait, we don't have the same values when we talk about marriage. We talk about raising kids, talk about raising families. They're not the same. And so because of that, there's always conflict. There's, well, you should be able to do this. And they're like, no, we don't do that. And so I'm saying all that to say culture matters in all of this.
Man, thank you, Ernest. That's an amazing perspective. I think people who travel period, they have a more worldly view of the world, and they see things different than people who don't travel. Okay, people
Yes.
who don't look at another culture. I think it's better. Thank you, Ernest, for that perspective so much.
Read
Well, let me
Carolyn's
catch up some
comment.
comments here. Dwight says that's divine order. He was talking about how Lisa and I met, but he also says be presentable. I'm gonna say something about that. When I first saw Lisa in person, my first impression was, wow, she's gorgeous. Okay, my eyes before I talked to her in person. Okay, she caught me with her look. Lisa and I have great friends that we love, who want to be in a relationship, but never put themselves in a position to be in a relationship or to be found, and they don't always leave the house presentable. Okay, I know one of our friends we thinking of particular that I love her very much, but she's not going to work her way she's doing it. It's just not going to work. Okay, he's not going to come to your house and knock on your door. Okay, you're not even out there like that, and you're not presenting your best foot forward. You couldn't show up at a job interview looking like that. You show up at a job interview because you want to be hired, so you look your best for that because you want to be hired. And I want this for my friend to look like she wants to be found, look like she wants to be hired. Um, Sister Dr. Carolyn says part of my resume, if Brian and Lisa decide to do a referral, and I really wish I could. Number one, I'm spirit filled, easy on the eyes, intelligent, a little kinky, not a cougar, but I'm open minded and will do 10 years down. Funny, I can cook and will cook. No ex boyfriends or baby daddies hanging around, just in case you need some of my, let me scroll here, some of my
Background
background
info.
info. And Dwight says, it's a bit much, but attainable. Amen. Go ahead, baby.
Hey, amen. I agree, and I emphasize that. Um, I emphasize that jokingly. I am in agreement with Ernest on a lot of the things that he said, and I also know that a lot of the places that we are in, meaning stages and places in our lives, are because we have gone through something that has got us there. So when we're looking at the big picture, whatever is not working, think back to when it worked. And if it never worked, then you've got to project yourself forward
Or learn from someone else that makes it
to
work.
want to work and what you need to do to get that thing to work. So it starts with reflection, evaluation, and then projection. You got to look back, figure it out, and then look ahead. And then do some specification, like Sister Carolyn did. Clarify what it is that you're looking for, specify what it is that you're looking for, but you've got to be in alignment. Understand, you've got to be in alignment with what and who you want. I knew that the husband that I wanted was going to be entrepreneurial. So, in order to find an entrepreneur that was going to, it was the reason why I knew that was because I knew I was entrepreneurial. So there needed to be that kinship. I needed someone to understand that we were going to navigate life this way together, right? And that took me putting myself into spaces where entrepreneurs exist.
Right.
Just putting myself at meetups, at meetings, at different things that would allow me to be in the company of people who shared the mindset. Yes, I wanted someone that was spiritual and godly, but I did not want them to have the thought that in order to believe in God, we had to be at church every single time the doors were open, and that we couldn't have a drink, and that we couldn't smoke a cigar, and that we couldn't. I didn't want anybody oppressing the God in me, because my God is boundless, and I
Right.
don't need some of those oppressions that hold down. But I also needed them to understand that I was the prize, and that meant that I presented myself as a prize. Everywhere
Mm-hmm.
I went, every time I stepped out the house, I called a girlfriend the other day. We were going over to a friend's house for something, and I said, "What's the dress code?" And they said, "Well, we already know that whatever you're going to wear, you're going to be overdressed." That's almost a common thing. I'm not overdressed. I just think
Right.
everybody else is underdressed.
There
But
you
that's
go.
okay. I'm not judging you. You could dress however you want, but you're not going to force me to dress other than how I choose to dress,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a standard that I hold myself to. I believe in nurturing my mind. I believe in reading. I believe in studying. I believe in taking classes, even when I'm not in school. I believe in continuing my education, even as a 56-year-old woman. I believe in some of these things that put me into spaces that will allow me to interact with the type of people that I want to interact with.
Yeah.
I don't just wish that I could interact with them. I put myself in positions to interact with them. And that's what I always often encourage my sisters to do the same.
Dr. Carolyn says, "Thank you, Lisa. I need to get out to places more. You get older and just focus on working and just being comfortable at home." Yeah, that makes sense
If
to me.
there's a conference going on in your city, go to it. If
Yeah.
there's something being held at the college in your city, go to it. There are some professors that are widows, or there are some single adult people in areas that know other people. Like I said, might not be the one, but they might know the one who
Yeah.
they can create the introduction to. And if you're not notable, then they're not gonna think of you when they think of, oh, you need to meet such and such. Well, why?
Amen. 2 hours into my cigar and it's not finished yet. This is a good stick. Okay, a good, my current favorite, Placencia 149, and they make great gifts, by the way.
Well, Christmas is coming.
And my birthday is before Christmas, so
I heard him.
Dr. Carolyn says, right. We've been gone for 2 hours. How you guys feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
I'm
waiting on my workout partner. When he gets off work, he gonna make me go to the gym. So I'm waiting on him to give
Isn't
me the
that
ring that he
interesting?
done.
He's waiting on his workout partner because his workout will be more effective with his partner, with his workout
Absolutely.
partner. He could go
Gotta
on
have.
his own, but he chooses to do that with somebody. Isn't that interesting?
I can't go on my own. I already know that. I'm gonna lay there and eat these potato
Carolyn, it's
chips.
a great conversation.
Placencia, Placencia, Placencia 149. They have Placencia 151s. They're fine too, but I like the 149. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Carolyn. Probably my first date with Lisa, she gave me a gift of a box of cigars that she just happened to have had in her house. And
I did. I had a humidor with cigars in it, about 10 cigars,
yeah,
because I had a team, a sales team, and the men were not performing as well as the women. So I thought maybe if I got something that the men would want to earn, that they would win it, because I always had feminine type gifts, right? And I had
mhm.
this box of cigars for a long time. They still didn't win over the women. So when Brian had mentioned something about, and he smokes a cigar from time to time, I thought
No,
to myself,
daily.
oh, I have these cigars. And I showed him the humidor and I gave it to him. And I said, you can have them. And he was like, oh, oh.
It was. She was already wonderful as a helper in my workshop. We met at a workshop that I was conducting, and Lisa was there, and like she was the first person to show up at my workshop. Nicole. It was a workshop called "How to Sell Your Services Like a Superstar." It was going to be a 3-hour workshop, and Lisa was there. Now she had been supporting my event before that, but she showed up, and immediately she saw that this man is out of town. This man is doing everything. He's setting up tables and he's got to give a talk. So she immediately kind of rolled up her sleeves and started helping. She recorded it. She kind of arranged it. She took control of it, which freed me up to be great that day because I had Lisa there to help me. So it's so deep with me now. Like when I get a chance to speak, I don't even want to go if Lisa can't go with me. Okay, because in a few times when I had to go without her, she was missed because I needed my support. Okay, that's what I have. But when I had to go speak anywhere, if I had to go to another city to speak and Lisa's not with me, it's going to be harder, much harder, and it's just better. Okay, it's just better to have your support there. I mean,
that's an excellent team. Excellent team. Yes, I love it.
This is what really matters because that's what shifted me better in my marriage. Because I've been married, 12 years. We did meet on Facebook. Well, but it's funny. It's the same way that you all met. I wasn't praying particularly for a wife right then. I don't know if she was praying for her husband or not. She said she was not. But I was over the Christian Collegiate Club at Georgia Military College, thinking about getting into college. And I just happened that day to lead this prayer event that we called Penny for Your Thoughts, Purpose for Your Prayer. So what people would do is drop a penny inside of a box. That meant they needed prayer.
Amen.
And pictures of me doing this was posted on Facebook. So the young lady that was going to Georgia Military College at the time saw these pictures, and not just like those, but like my other 50 pictures I posted of myself. Now, these pictures I think Brian has seen because these are the ones I reposted of me in these mink coats and these velvet shirts and all of that. She liked all of them. Like, who is this woman liking all my pictures? So I go right to it wasn't called DM then, but it was called it. So I went to her DM. And we had a conversation because she was cleaning her fridge out that Saturday. But I'm like you. I knew she was the one. She didn't know she was the one, but I knew. Because at this time, I was trying to think about, am I going to get into the military or not? I was 26 years old. I had a job, but it wasn't paying a lot. So I didn't have a lot to offer, but just structure. That's all I had. I didn't have a lot of money. I just had structure. But that's what attracted her to me.
She saw a place where she could be helpful.
Exactly. Because I'm like, where do I fit in this woman's life? Why does she like me so much? I don't have a lot. She said, but you have more than what you thought you had. You had what I need.
That's major. That's major.
You had understanding of things. That you're smart. And I knew you would go places. It didn't have to be where you want to go right then. But I knew you were going. And 12 years later, this woman has supported me going to a whole other country, working a whole different job, and is supporting me heavy. I don't get that support now. 12 years ago, I don't feel that with her then. And back to what Lisa said about suppressing. So I was the guy. I was raised as a pastor's son and a minister. But I didn't believe in wine. There ain't no wine coming in and out this house. We ain't doing it. Yeah. 4 of our years, we moved to Italy. In the first 2 years, I'm fighting with my wife. We ain't drinking no wine up in this house. She said, you know what? You ain't got to, but I ain't. Years to have a couple of glasses with my wife, and I'm telling you, when I say it opened her and I up to a whole boy after that.
Something's going on with your connection, bro.
And I didn't know that suppression was leading to us not being be connected more. But wine opened it up. And so here we are.
Wine
Wine
opened it up. I think that was
Great.
her being herself that opened it up myself.
Yeah.
Nicole, you said something earlier that it pricked my spirit in a way that I was like, oh no, Nicole. When you said you're past that build a bear stage and building up a man stage, okay? Sometimes he needs you to become fully who he is going to be. And he may not be able to get all the way there because so many women today want a man that has everything in place.
He is here. I'm out, y'all.
All right, man. Thank you. And Dwight, I know you got to run. He's got a back to school event. Thank you very much. It's been great hanging out. He says, Dr. Carolyn says, love what you and Lisa have with an exclamation point. My husband and I will be visiting you guys soon. That will be a great time, Dr. Carolyn. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because we love that. All right, I'm about to wrap this up here soon. Anybody want to have any more closing thoughts?
I want to say something about what you just said. You can't
Okay.
just bring that back up and walk away.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Because there's a difference. And when I say the Build-A-Bear stage, that's when you got to help them put everything together. There's a difference between doing everything to build them there versus assisting and helping along the way.
Yeah, you're right.
I helpmates.
You're right.
That's what he labeled me, as a helpmate.
I,
And then I accept that role, right? You might have the frame, but you're missing the windows or the window covering. I'm not helping the foundation and everything.
I get it.
Those things are different. I'm 52. I know I got 52 years behind me. I don't know what's in front of me. I'm not trying to start at the 21-year-old stage.
I got you.
Okay.
One more thing about Lisa and I thought that I was the man when I met her. I thought I was the shit when I met her. Okay. Thought is the key word. Okay. But I became better with her, right. and I became more of who I already was. I became a better version of me because of her. Because of her. Now she was a powerhouse before when I met her. She was a powerhouse before I met her. People that knew her knew she was a powerhouse. They told me when I started dating her, her pastor had a meeting with me when we were dating, and he wanted me to know, did I realize what I have? Because we were dating. Do you realize who you with, man? I said, yeah, I understand. She's great. He goes, no, you're not getting it. He says, do you understand how powerful this woman is that you're endeavoring to be with? I was like, yeah. He goes, no, you still not getting it, man. So she had a covering, two pastors, Nicole, two different ones that knew who she was. Another pastor she had told me, let me tell you something right now. I see you with Lisa all the time. I'm going to say this to you. This guy, I ain't like his approach as much. But he said, let me tell you something right now. I know you dating Lisa. I know you with her. But Lisa's mine, okay? She's mine. And if you're going to be dating mine, you're going to have to do this and that and the other, okay? Really? She's yours? Okay. But his heart was right. His heart was in the right place. He was trying to protect somebody that was in his circle that he felt was important, So I wanted to just say that too. Go ahead. Anybody want to have any more closing thoughts? I'm going to wrap up.
I'm done. I love you. I'm grateful that God put us together. Nicole, I'm grateful that you
Nicole, you were amazing today, my sister. Thank you.
Amen.
Nicole, I needed this talk with you, Nicole, because now I know better your personality. Amen. It's important. Thank you.
Carolyn, I'm grateful that she came to hang out
Carolyn,
with us.
Dwight, thank you for your contributions. Lena, Janelle, baby. I want these things for these women. Yes.
I am thankful that I was supposed to be somewhere else, and I decided at the last minute, now let me get some work done. And I saw that you were live, so I'm grateful for the opportunity. And Lisa, I'm going to do everything that I can to join you guys on Tuesday night. I believe in women supporting and encouraging each other. I believe in this platform. So this has really been fun for me today. I'm glad you got to see that personality, and just really share about the topics, where our future is going as a country, where relationships can and need to go, and mentoring our young adults. So I'm grateful for all of that and look forward to being able to share with you and your community again.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you all. Thank God for this platform that we could reach Dallas and Kuwait and DC and wherever else people join. Thank you for everyone who chose not to say anything, that were just watching. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Love ya.